Welcome back to the Gun Dungeon, guys. As you can tell from the title of the video and the thumbnail, we've got a pretty good video lined out today. We're going to be talking about double action, single action mechanisms on handguns. I've got a couple different variants laid out here. I know this isn't all of them, but it's pretty close to the designs of that most double action, single action firearms will be set up in. So we'll just get right into it. We'll start out looking at this CZ75. Now, this gun is clear, but double action, single action means that whenever you pull the hammer or pull the trigger, the hammer will take off and reciprocate fire the first round. So now, hypothetically, after our first shot, boom, the round goes off, slide goes back, and the hammer is now cocked. So consecutive shots from here will be in single action. So each shot, slide reciprocates, hammer stays back, single action. So just to give you an idea, that's what the double action, single action mechanism is. So this type, what we're going to talk about here, standard double action, single action, but this one has a safety, and this is the CZ75B variant. So with the safety, when the hammer is forward, you cannot engage this safety. It won't move. When the hammer is back, you can turn the safety on. So with this particular gun, you have a couple options on how you want to carry, how you could carry it if you wanted to. First is cocked and locked. So that would mean you turn safety off, you put your mag in, you would chamber around, now have a round in the chamber, and you simply turn the safety on. That's how you would carry it. So when you pulled the gun to shoot it, you would have to pull it out of the holster, turn the safety off, and fire. You can carry it that way. Or the second option is you have the gun, put your mag in, you rack the slide, you now have a round in the chamber. Now, this is a little bit hairy. I don't recommend doing this because at this point you're going to have a live round in the chamber, but you would thumb the hammer, let it go forward, take your finger off the trigger, and let the hammer go forward. Now you can see it's not all the way forward. That hammer is at a half cock, but you can't turn the safety on. No, it won't move at this point. But your first shot is double action. Okay, so that's your two options of carrying this gun. Now you all in for a real treat today. Check it out. I even painted the targets for you guys. That's something I rarely do. But I tell you what, let's go ahead and I got a mag, got some ammo in it here. Let's take some shots, not doing anything serious, just pop some rounds, have a little bit of fun. Then we'll talk about the next one. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna rack a round in the chamber. Now I'm gonna thumb that hammer down. It can be done safely. So now there's a live round in the chamber, the hammer is down, so the first shot's gonna be double action, and the shots after that will be single. All right, so the second type that I'm gonna show you, this is also a CZ. I'm a CZ fan, can't help it. But this one has a decocker. So it's the same concept. I'll show the gun is clear. Same concept as the other, except for this one, there's no lever on the side that's a safety. This lever is a decocker. So you would put your mag in, rack the slide. Now you have a round chambered. Hammer is back. You don't want to carry it that way, especially without a safety. So you pull this lever, hammer goes to a half cock, just like on the other 75. Not all of them go to a half cock, some of them go fully forward, but they have a firing pin safety. But regardless, your hammer's now forward, so now your safety is that long, first heavy, long trigger pull. That's your safety. That's the only way to carry this firearm. You do not want to carry this with the hammer to the rear. There's no safety, and it's a very light single action trigger. So as you can tell, this one is mounted on the frame. It's kind of a different decocker. Don't really know of a whole lot of other double action, single action type guns out there other than CZ that has this particular style. I know the SIG, they'll have a decocker kind of more towards the front of the grip. But yeah, that's the way this one is. So that's the second top. Like I said, you don't want to carry this one with the hammer back. So let me load up a mag for this thing. We'll shoot a few rounds, have a little fun, and then we'll talk about the next one. All right, so I'm gonna put the mag in, rack around in, hit my decocker, hammer goes forward. Now there's a round in the chamber, the hammer is forward, first shot will be double action, and then, you guessed it, the next will be single. Here we go. Man, that thing is fun. All right, the third top I want to talk about is this old school 3rd gen Smith & Wesson. It is clear. And I had to leave this mag empty for a reason. This does have a magazine disconnect, which meaning with no magazine, nothing happens. Put a magazine in, it will function. I don't like that feature. Some people do. I despise it. But that's what we got here. So let's talk a little bit about this one. Now, this is the same concept, okay? Except for this has a safety and a decocker, and it's mounted on the slide right here. This is a little bit different. The function on this one, I'm gonna go ahead and have this mag in, but the function on this one, when the decocker and safety is forward like that, that is the firing position. So the hammer will stay back as if you had just fired. Now when I flip it down, I'm gonna do it from this side, you can see it move over here. That hammer goes forward. So in a little bit different variant from the CZ with the decocker that I showed you, is why this will remain down. If you leave it there, it is a safety. Magazine is in, so it's not the magazine disconnect, but with that lever down, and you can see it's on both sides, ambidextrous, but it acts as a safety. So you could carry this one. There's two options to carry it. Both of them are going to be with the hammer forward. You can carry it with the safety off and rely on that long double action trigger pull to be your safety, or you can carry it with the hammer down and the safety on. In which case, and this is kind of like a Beretta 92. The Beretta 92s are the same way. I know they have different variants of those. Some are decocker only. Some, I mean, they make all kinds of different variations of that. They did these too, but this is the standard model, and this is what you're going to be running into most of the time with a 3rd gen Smith & Wesson. But as I was saying, you can carry it with the lever pointed downward, and that is safety on. Flip it forward, that is ready to fire. So you can carry with the safety on, and that's pretty safe to carry like that. You got a long double action pull if the safety were to get kicked on or off, and you got the safety. That's pretty safe in my opinion. I, however, am not a fan of using my thumb to flip a safety forward to make it ready to fire. I'm more of the traditional 1911 style, flip it down to make it fire, but that's not how this one is. Okay, so what we'll do is load this magazine up. Neighbors hate it whenever I shoot guns, so they'll shoot firecrackers off sometimes. But anyways, I'll load this magazine up and we'll get to shooting some. Here we go. The magazine is in. One is in the chamber. I'm gonna decock, turn the safety off, and then we'll get ready to roll. Single stack, not much capacity. All right, guys, so what we got here is an old classic. It's empty, but this is a Bulgarian Makarov. This too, it's an old gun, old design. This too is double action, single action. It is very similar to the 3913 we just saw, as in it does have a slide mounted safety and decocker as well. The difference in this is that one is the exact opposite as the 3913, whereas when the lever is downward, the gun is ready to fire. You see the hammer's back. When you flip it up, the hammer goes forward. So that right there is safe. This is a kind of a small gun, and one thing that I don't like about this design is when I put it on fire and get it with my big grubby hands, I have a tendency to let my thumb come up, especially with a two-handed grip. Let my thumb come up and this safety lever will just whoop the hell out of that knuckle. So, but yeah, that's this design. You can see you chambered around. We didn't actually, but hypothetically, you would have chambered around, hammer is back, decock, it's unsafe. That's how you would probably carry it, or you could flip it off and carry it relying on that long double action trigger pull. So let's load this thing up, take a few shots, and we'll go from there. All right, mag is in, round is chambered, decock, and here we go. Good stuff. All right, so that's what we got for today. I'm gonna let you know what my favorite is. My favorite is this type of decocker. This is actually one of my favorite guns. This is the CZ75D PCR. And this is one of my favorite guns, favorite carry gun, favorite all-around guns. I really like this thing, and this is probably my favorite style of double action, single action, is having that decocker. It keeps me from having to thumb a hammer down, and I get to carry it in with the double action mode first. This is what I like to carry. This is what I like to shoot. Let me know what you all like. If you like today's video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And until next time, guys, stay tuned.